your handlers, people that are your handlers, okay? If I go to your handler and I say, hey, here's what we like to do something with Joe. Let's just say you and I have never had any interaction together. I'd like to pitch Joe XYZ show or do this. Okay. He says, let me get back to you. If they're professionals, there's one of two things that happens. One, he comes up to you. If he doesn't get back to me, my interpretation is Joe's not interested.
Right.
Or they forgot to follow up, okay, because they're so busy. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt that they forget to follow up. But if it happens 3 different camps, it's not the team. You don't want to do a lot of these tough long-form interviews. So I don't know. This is going to be a very interesting election cycle to see what will happen. I don't think a lot of people think Joe's going to be there at the end.
Also, Kamala, what do they do with her?
Oh, my God.
If he steps down, what do they do with her? Do people demand that she runs?
I think one person will lose their minds if Joe steps down. Some would absolutely lose her shit. You know who that is?
Who?
Hillary.
Yeah.
She's not the first. Kamala becomes the first president. You know, if he steps down before,
right,
or if he finishes, I mean, that's some crazy stuff right there.
Yeah, I just can't imagine the United States wants President Kamala Harris. I don't think anybody wants that. Nobody wants that. I mean, maybe some people would prefer that over President Trump, but nobody wants that. And nobody wants President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. The guy's a fucking con man. I mean, everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids, when it was totally unnecessary, to being caught out in public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors.
Yeah.
Something else.
All of it. It's just, nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone-cold, narrative-driven politician. You know, and nobody thinks he's a real human. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. Same thing with RFK Jr. Whether you believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective, and you know that's a human being.
I don't know
with
much
Newsom,
about
you've got
American
like this
politics.
construct,
I'm not American, but,
this cardboard
I've been hearing
cutout
about
of a
RFK
person.
Recently, and
It's just,
right
I don't
curious
think
to see
people
what the
want
guy's
that.
about.
But they might want it more than they want President Trump. And that's where we got Joe Biden. We didn't get Joe Biden because Joe Biden's amazing. Joe Biden's been a goof his whole fucking career. He's always been a goof. He's been caught lying so many times.
Yeah.
He's so full of shit. There's so much evidence that he's corrupt. Just undeniable evidence of corruption. And the stuff with him and his son, and then the guy who just testified that was business partners with Hunter, who talked about all the different things that Joe was involved with.
Evan Archer.
Yeah. It's fucking undeniable. And the fact that mainstream news is ignoring this, except for right-wing media, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but on the back end, when they flip, they're all united when they flip. Meaning,
if they go after him, like they did with Cuomo.
Exactly. So to me, Andrew Cuomo is a case study of what's about to come. Like, it's a conversation where whoever that guy is, there's got to be a guy that makes the phone call, right? That guy can talk to him. And they say, Joe, it's time. We got to figure something out, and you got to step away. And we're going to protect your legacy. Netflix has already agreed to do a massive 4-part series documentary on your life. And we got you a $30 million deal with Simon & Schuster, okay? And outside of that, you're good, you're scored away, you're going to get this award, you're going to get that award, and your wife's going to get this, and you're going to get this, and you don't have to worry about pardon, all this, but you got to step away. That person's going to make the phone call, especially to the people when you're part of the establishment. That person can't make the phone call to the anti-establishment people. But that person can make the phone call to the establishment people, and he's full-blown establishment, 50 years if you want to, 60 years. The Newsom thing is a little bit interesting. I think Newsom is 10 times more marketable than Biden. When Newsom went on Hannity, I don't know if you saw it or not, most people said Newsom won. And oh, my God, he did a very good job representing himself as a politician. First of all, what you're doing is you're going in enemy territory, Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity is a Trump guy, so you're willing to go to anybody, and you go to him. You didn't go to somebody that's a little safer. You went straight to him. And afterwards, everyone's like, Newsom showed up, he did this, he did that. So if Newsom takes a page out of Trump's playbook to go against opposition, he shows strength, Democrats are just going to get behind somebody, and they got a behemoth of a machine to start talking about why he's such a hero, why he's such a this, why he's so noble. So, the other part, Joe, that RFK is confusing a lot of these guys, RFK and Vivek. What are the two guys doing? They're going on podcasts. They're going everywhere.
Yeah.
And some of these guys are not realizing the power of you yet, the power of the podcast model, the power of Friedman's, the power of going and talking to the people because it's digital. I'm looking at the video here, 15-minute clip, 5-minute clip, Twitter short clip. So I think this could be the first case study where mainstream media for an election, this could be the last one where they have a little bit of an advantage. I think it's about to be done for them.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, it's a terrible format. I mean, mainstream media has always been hampered by the fact they have ads every 7 minutes. It's always been every conversation is only allowed to have a certain amount of depth to it because you can't expand on things. You can't if you have like something very complicated to discuss. You need to let someone talk without any interruption, and then there needs to be some back and forth. That takes time. It takes a long time for someone to clearly establish when you're talking about the facts of a very important piece of policy or a very important situation that's going on in America. Like, say, the border crisis. You can't talk about the border crisis in 5 minutes. It's super complicated. You can't talk about Title 42 in 40 minutes. You can't talk about any of these things in a short amount of time. You need hours. You need to be able to expand for hours and not be interrupted by commercial breaks. But they're hampered by that model. It's always going to be, and then they're also hampered by the fact that you don't get individual, unique voices and perspectives. You get narrative-driven, policy-driven, ideologically driven hosts who they're contained by whatever system that they're a part of. They're contained by their executives and the producers and the people behind the scenes, and they only have so much leeway for opinion. We saw that with Tucker. Tucker ventured outside of that, and he had a podcast voice on network television. So you had a guy that was saying what he believed about the intelligence agencies, about the FBI's interference into the protests of the Capitol, about Pfizer and Moderna and what they've done with the drugs, about the lab leak, about Anthony Fauci, about all these different things. Like, he essentially was treating network television like a podcast.
That was a very insightful video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to follow, comment, and subscribe to see more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.